Hello and good day. Welcome to our video channel, God's Promises. And today's video will be a fast, concise overview, Book of 2 Kings, chapter 6. Let's get started now. The book of 2 Kings chapter 6 tells the story of the prophet Elisha and his miraculous acts through the power of God. The chapter begins with the sons of the prophets coming to Elisha and asking him to allow them to build a larger dwelling place for their growing community. Elisha gives them his blessing and they set out to build a new dwelling place by the Jordan River. As they are cutting down trees, one of the sons of the prophets loses the head of his axe in the river. He cries out to Elisha for help, saying, "Alas, master, for it was borrowed." 2 Kings 6 verse 5 ESV. Elisha then takes a stick and throws it into the water, causing the iron axe head to float to the surface. This miracle astounds the sons of the prophets and strengthens their faith in God's power through Elisha. The story then shifts to the ongoing conflict between the king of Syria and the king of Israel. The king of Syria becomes enraged that his plans to ambush the Israelites are continually being thwarted, and he suspects that there is a spy among his ranks. However, one of his servants tells him that the prophet Elisha is the one who is revealing his plans to the king of Israel. The king of Syria sends an army to capture Elisha, but God reveals to Elisha the plans of the Syrians and warns him to flee to a nearby city. The Syrians surround the city in an attempt to capture Elisha, but Elisha remains calm and confident in God's protection. He prays to God to open the eyes of his servant, who is terrified at the sight of the encroaching Syrian army. God answers Elisha's prayer, and the servant sees that the hills around the city are full of horses and chariots of fire, sent by God to protect Elisha. Elisha then prays for God to blind the Syrians, and God grants his request. Elisha then leads the blinded army to the city of Samaria, where the king of Israel has them fed and then released back to Syria. This act of mercy and compassion astonishes the Syrians and leads to a time of peace between the two nations. The story of Elisha's miraculous acts in 2 Kings chapter 6 teaches us several important lessons. First, it reminds us of God's power and sovereignty over all things. The miracle of the floating axe head shows us that God can even work through the laws of nature to accomplish his will. The protection of Elisha and the blinding of the Syrians demonstrate that God is always with us and can deliver us from any situation, no matter how dire. Second, the story emphasizes the importance of faith and obedience to God's commands. Elisha's faith in God's protection and his obedience to God's guidance enabled him to escape the clutches of the Syrian army and lead them to peace. Similarly, our faith and obedience to God's will can lead us to victory and peace in even the most challenging circumstances. Lastly, the story of Elisha's acts of mercy towards the Syrians teaches us the value of compassion and forgiveness. Instead of seeking revenge on the blinded army, Elisha shows them mercy and kindness, leading to a time of peace between the two nations. As followers of God, we are called to emulate his love and forgiveness towards others, even those who may be our enemies. In conclusion, the story of Elisha's miraculous acts in 2 Kings chapter 6 reminds us of God's power, the importance of faith and obedience, and the value of compassion and forgiveness. May we always trust in God's protection and guidance, obey his commands, and show his love. Thank you for visiting us today. Please share with us your favorite Bible chapter below in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help our channel grow. Looking forward to see you back here for our next video. Always take good care.